Welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to break down how I make dark synth drill beats for people like Headie 1, Central C, even the American drill artists like Fivio Foreign. Let's get into it. I started off with this string pad from the Selena in Analog Lab 5, then I clicked in these very simple chords. Before I go through the effects, I'm just going to talk you through my process of how I come up with the chords. So if I bring this D note down, you'll see it's essentially a C minor chord. Obviously, a traditional C minor, the D note would be on the D sharp, which is the third note in the key. I've just brought it down to the second because I feel like that just really helps to give a dark vibe. So for the effects, I added a shaper box. I've actually found a really cool preset. If you go into time and then pitch, and this one here, the fourth one along, it almost acts as like a half time. It pitches it down and slows it down. Reverb to make it really fill the frequencies again and make it a bit bigger. And an EQ cutting some of the lows out. Next, I jumped onto Splice and searched for Middle Eastern vocals. I wanted a dark, kind of airy sound. So I found this one. I pitched it down to make it fit within the key and time stretched it. I also chopped it up a little bit because I didn't want all of it in there. And it sounds like this. Then I added a bunch of effects again. If you go to basic and select this one, it helps it really pulse in and out. It kind of stops and starts. Then a half time on the quarter preset. EQ, loads of the frequencies being cut out, the highs and the lows. And then a sound shifter, which is pitched up to 12, but I automated it so it only comes in at certain points. A reverb, quite a big one, a heavy mix, and some tremolo control, which is pushing it from side to side. Once I had those two elements, I didn't want to do any more melodics. I just wanted to keep it very simple and move on to the drums. So I started off with this 808. Next is the hi-hat. If you're making a drill beat, you're going to want to make sure your hi-hat is super fire, the sound selection and the pattern, because it's a very big part of the bounce. So I've chosen this one. I've brought the out knob up a little bit and this knob up a little bit, which basically pitches it down. I've shifted it back, probably less than normal because there's so much going on with the hi-hats. If you shift it too much, it's going to sound off. Then I had a pretty basic rim shot. After that, I added this roll with a counter snare. And then this triangle for a bit of texture. Next, I wanted to add some more percussion, but I wanted to switch it up and do something a little bit different. So I opened up the granulizer and I dragged in a perk, messed with the settings a little bit. I used this preset down here, and yeah, it sounds like this. Again, some more percussion. The final drum element is this kick. I picked a super hard hitting one and I've left the pattern very spaced out because the percussion is creating all the bounce. So what I did with the 808 slides was I structured out the beat and then I'd play it and listen and think, oh, I want an 808 slide in here. So I'd use the chop tool and cut off the pattern, right click and click make unique. It's going to make it its own separate thing. And then you can go in and mess with the 808 slides. To transition into the hook, I added this reverse effect. I've pitched it all the way down and time stretched it so it fits in the BPM. I've also automated the panning on it. So if you put it in a mixer channel, right click on this knob here and then create automation clip. It'll create one like this and you can automate it panning from side to side. So what I've done is it starts on the left and comes into the right ear as it drops into the hook. As you heard there, I did actually add one more melodic element for the hook. I went into the Selena and I grabbed this air string preset. It's the exact same chords. All I've done is half time it. I've added a shaper box, this basic pulse kind of preset, and then EQ. I've cut quite a lot of the lows out so it's not clashing with the original pad. As I mentioned earlier, I did automate the sound shifter, so for the hook the vocals were pitched up a whole octave. As a breakdown towards the end, I put a halftime on the master and automated it. So it starts here, and as you can see, I've created like a little slope so it fades back out again, and then all the drums drop for a final kind of big hook. Okay, that's today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment. Let me know what you want to see next. Also, the link to my Discord is in the description below. We've got a great community going on there. We're sharing beats and samples all the time, so feel free to join, and I'll see you in the next one.